We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Join us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story. 922-4112, 922-4113, 922-4114, and 922-4115. You can listen to Both Sides of the Story on the Gleaner's website, www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or nobex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany, 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee.
I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. I know it's gonna last forever. I feel us coming closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get it together. Whoa, I know you done a lot of wrong, but I'm willing to forgive. No one has the right to decide how the other man should live. Sometimes we should stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Cause later on you realize it really had no worth. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. I know it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get it together. Whoa, whoa. Mama, she's taught us for so long, with her heart all full of tears, and the wisdom in her eyes kept me safe through all the years. Make me grow to understand that there's still good folks around. And to keep me, our hearts is to be on solid ground. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. No, it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get together. Whoa, whoa. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. No, it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get together. Oh, I see love coming but slowly, coming but slowly now. No, it's gonna last forever. Closer, getting together. I see love from a distance, coming, coming, let's go now. Gotta let you, gotta let you. I feel us getting closer.
It's the 19th day of the third month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. The month of March is still being observed as Salt Awareness Month, Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month, World Endometriosis Month, Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and Women's History Month. It's Constitution Day in Belarus. The Battle of March is being commemorated in the Dominican Republic, and Catholics worldwide are commemorating St. Joseph's Day. Hoy es viernes el 19 de marzo 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. Ce vendredi, le 19 mars 2021, et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutent, où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme allant de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
I see love from a distance. Coming, coming, let's go now.
All we're saying is it's Friday, the 19th of March, 2021, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Done a lot of wrong, but I'm willing to forgive. No one has the right to decide how the other man should live. Sometimes we should stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Cause later on you realize it really had no worth. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. No, it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you if you're logged on to the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to Both Sides of the Story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. There are two designated numbers you can dial to listen to Power 106 FM. One from the United States and the other from the United Kingdom. If you're in the United States and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We acknowledge those who are watching us on Facebook Live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll not only be able to hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. We thank you as well for logging on to YouTube. Thank you for visiting the YouTube website. If you go there now, you should see this video trending. If not, in the YouTube search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to watch both sides of the story on YouTube. We have various platforms for you to keep in touch with us, and we always love to hear from you. The numbers to call are 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113. We'll tell you the other numbers in a moment.
I feel what's coming closer.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Calling all teachers. Update your registration profile at tmis.jtc.gov.jm to gain lifetime access to the Jamaica Teaching Council's suite of services. Request statements of professional standing. Get first-hand information about upcoming events. Access professional development courses and much more.
With all that's been happening for 2020, it may be easy to forget about the transatlantic hurricane season. But don't worry too much because we've got you covered. Literally, with tarpaulins, umbrellas, and raincoats.
We have candles, flashlights, lanterns, and batteries, cleaning and sanitization supplies, brooms, rakes, bins, multi-purpose containers, and buckets. We even have drinking water and non-perishable food items too.
Let us help keep you and your family taken care of this hurricane season. Stay aware, stay safe, and get prepared. At Bashco, at 30 years, giving you more.
34 years ago, Exim made a commitment to Jamaica to help facilitate economic growth by providing loan financing solutions to companies just like you.
They say that necessity is the mother of invention. And in times like these, our commitment to you has not wavered.
The success of your business is our priority. Exim cares.
Exim cares about your business.
Exim cares about you.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce presents MIIC Live on both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm every first and third Thursday at 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. Learn more about the manufacturing strategy, modernization in trading, foreign direct investments, and much more right here on Power 106 FM. This broadcast of MIIC Live is brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
We were giving you the numbers to call if you wish to participate in this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story from the top. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, but your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can call us via WhatsApp. Plus, there are those who from time to time dial direct to that line, 876-365-3346. So it's a multi-purpose line, 876-365-3346. We're looking forward to your full participation on the other platforms as well. And we'll go through some of the comments in just a moment. In the meantime, for the record, we started out this afternoon with the words of John Donne, D-O-N-N-E, John-Donne. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. The words of John Donne, and then we paired that with the soul-searching sounds of the soul-searching sound of Beres Hammond. Love from a distance. Beres Hammond seems to be harboring hopes, perhaps of a united community, a united country, a united region, a united world. He says, I hope it's not gonna be long. No, please don't make it long now. In other words, hope it doesn't take too long to bring back the love. Essentially, that's what he's saying. Hope it's not going to take too long to bring back the love. He's seeing signs of it. And don't we see signs almost every day? He says, I see love from a distance, coming, but slowly. In other words, it's not rushing back. We talk a lot about bringing back the love. The love is not entire. It's not rushing back. It's coming back slowly, says Beres Hammond. I know it's gonna last forever, he feels. He says, I feel us coming closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get it together. It's time we get it together. We've been at it for decades in this country. It's time to get it together. It's not the first. Beres Hammond is not the first to tell us that it's time to get it together. Bob Marley in Smile, Jamaica encourages us accordingly as well. Yes, get it together. Let's get it together. It's time to get it together. Wow, I know you've done a lot of wrongs. And don't we know it? As individuals, we have done a lot of wrongs. And we know others who have done us wrong, etc., etc. And we could multiply that. But Beres Hammond says, but I'm willing to forgive. So he's the first to say, I'm willing to forgive. I know you've done a lot of wrongs, but I am willing to forgive. So he is prepared to suppress his ego, ego, which is man's biggest problem. He is prepared to suppress his ego. So I know you've done a lot of wrongs, but I'm willing to forgive. No one has the right to decide how the other man should live. Remember, we always say on this program, people are free to do whatever they want to do. People are free to be whatever they want to be, as long as that freedom does not infringe on another person's freedom. So that is essentially captured in the line in this Beres Hammond song. No one has the right to decide how the other man should live. And then he goes a step further. He says, sometimes we should stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Some of us ever so often are quick to say things and to do things that will hurt others. Beres Hammond is suggesting that sometimes we should just stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Because later on, you realize it really had no worth. Look at all the crimes that have been committed involving intimate partners, involving family members. At the end of the day, a family member or family members are dead, and a family member or family members, all things being equal, will end up in prison. And then who benefits? Family members going at other family members for the land or the house that mama or papa left behind. And then they fight and kill each other. Who benefits? The state. The state then takes charge of the property, essentially. And if there are, they do the next of kin thing and work it out, the Administrator General's Department, I believe, etc. But the point is, invariably, when you drill down as to why something happened, how did this quarrel start? How did this argument begin? How did this fight get going? Invariably, you'll find that it's some ridiculous reasons. So Beres Hammond is saying sometimes we should stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Because later on you realize it really had no worth. And then he goes back into the chorus. And in verse 2, he says, Mama, she has taught us for so long with her heart all full of tears. And that could be multiplied over and over. That's not to say the fathers have not been around, but the evidence is overwhelming of the mothers bearing the brunt of rearing the children. Mama, she's taught us for so long, with her heart all full of tears, and the wisdom in her eyes kept me safe through all the years. Make me grow to understand that there's still good folks around, and to keep her in your hearts is to be on solid ground. In other words, whether it's a mother or a father or a grandmother, an aunt and an uncle, a teacher, a pastor, a colleague, a co-worker, somebody at some stage in our lives would have poured into us, would have helped to shape and mold us and to keep us on the right path. And the best gift we can give to such a person or such people is to put into practice the words of wisdom they would have imparted and share it. Take someone else with you as you move up on the continuum of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. So that's the plane we're on this afternoon here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Some of us, and it's not unique to Jamaica, the dichotomy is such that I'm not prepared to listen to what you are saying, even if what you're saying is true, because you are not speaking with the color tongue that I'm speaking with. So I'm speaking with an orange tongue. And because your tongue is a green tongue, I have no time to even listen to what you are saying. And so our arguments are confined strictly down partisan lines. Strictly down partisan lines. And that divisiveness continues, that division continues to widen. And who suffers? When the elephants fight, we're told, the poor grass is trampled underfoot. That's the poor grass of Jamaica. Let's get it together, Jamaica. Let's get it together. Good afternoon to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, who, as usual, is wishing everyone a happy Sabbath. Listening from across the world. Everyone listening across the world, all the Seventh-day Adventists listening from across the world, says Ricardo. We join you in conveying Sabbath greetings to all Seventh-day Adventists. Pearl Brown says, every blessings to you, Sir D. I really wanted, why Dr. Tufton or any minister, including the Prime Minister, to take the vaccine to prove to people that it's okay for others to take. I think it's bulls. The vaccine will help to prevent getting the virus in people. Come on, my Jamaican people, get real. You do not have to be copycat. Sir, you are one of a kind. I will listen to you. Thanks. Lovely reggae music. Thank you, Miss Pearl Brown. All the best. Thanks to all the others who are joining us. We'll get back to these messages. We'll take your calls and we'll share as much information as we possibly can in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Did you know that the Jamaica National Foundation's Water Adaptation Project was designed to address the country's water management issues related to climate change? Yes, climate change affects our water supply. By turning off the tap while you brush your teeth or investing in a high-efficiency toilet, you can make a difference in saving water. Visit our website at www.waterprojectja.com and follow us on all socials at JN Foundation to find out more details on how you can play your part.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
I feel us getting closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get it together. Oh, oh. Mama, she's taught us for so long with her heart all full of tears, and the wisdom in her eyes kept me safe through all the years. Make me grow to understand that there's still good folks around, and to keep in your heart history on solid ground. I see love from a distance, coming back slowly. No, it's gonna last.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's share with you some of the stories that have been trending on the various news apps that keep us abreast of developments at home and abroad. Let's go with the Jamaica Observer News app. Biden eyes new goal after U.S. clears 100 million shots since January 20. The U.S. today cleared President Joe Biden's goal of injecting 100 million coronavirus shots more than a month before his target date of his 100th day in office, as the president prepared to set his sights higher in the nationwide vaccination effort. With the nation now administering about 2.5 million shots per day, Biden, who promised to set a new goal for vaccinations next week, teased the possibility of setting a 200 million dose goal by his 100th day in office. Target set, target achieved, raising the bar now. That makes sense. This one says, man who disarmed and shot cop captured at guest house. Remember the story of that man who was taken to National Chest Hospital and was and disarmed a policeman and shot him and escaped. The man Ricardo Richards, otherwise called Kaka. The police have captured the man who disarmed and shot a policeman at the National Chest Hospital in St. Andrew before escaping on March 12. The culprit, Ricardo Richards, otherwise called Kaka, was caught at a guest house in St. Andrew. He was being held on charges of murder, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, and shooting with intent. We've been promised more information. We'll share that with you as soon as it becomes available. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. There's a bit of a buzz or a hum in your line. Let's see if we can tolerate it.
Hello? Can you hear me?
All right, hold the line, please. Maybe we could get him to call us back or get his number and call him back, see if we get a better line. Because he's obviously struggling to hear us. We're hearing, and we suspect the struggle is due to the hum or the buzz in the line. Agriculture Ministry sees over 7,000 applicants in backyard garden project. How many times have we had a backyard garden project or backyard garden projects? For years. And has anybody done any studies to see the sustainability of these backyard garden projects? Interview some people, some backyard gardeners. How long have you had your backyard garden? Etc. Just so that we get a sense that we're actually moving as opposed to staying stagnant in the same place, doing the same thing or trying to do the same thing over and over again. Let's go to the phone lines once again. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, you could hear me now?
Much better.
Okay, not a problem. Great getting at you through. Usually I try to call and I never get through. But what I wanted to do is to let people in Jamaica know a few things that the government, the media, and a lot of people aren't saying. And hopefully you will allow me to speak.
Well, that's not how it works, actually. I have to exercise a level of discretion depending on what you say or even before you say it.
Well, it wouldn't be anything that's out of order or anything like that. But what I want to say is that, first of all, we have to examine what a virus is. A virus is 0.5 to 0.25 micron small, which means when you put on a mask, it's like putting on a chain link fence, putting up a chain link fence to stop a mosquito from coming in. Therefore, masks cannot stop a virus. Number two.
Well, hold on. Let's just declare here that the World Health Organization, WHO, continues its position that we must wear our masks from the World Health Organization, tried, tested, and proven for decades, the wearing of a mask to protect ourselves and to protect others.
You wear, in order to protect yourself from something that small, you need a hazmat suit. Number one.
No, that's that. No. The doctors in the hospitals who have had to deal with patients in intensive care unit, and I've been inside these places. And even before stepping it up to intensive care, doctors have been wearing masks, surgical and otherwise, for centuries, without necessarily, depending on the nature of the state of the patient, without necessarily needing they don't put on hazmat suits, for sure.
My second point, sir, was that if you study virology, you'll find out.
Can you give us a sense of your background in virology, please, or in the sciences, because that will help us to understand.
I understand what you're saying now.
Where you're coming from. What is your qualification in this area?
My qualifications is this. Okay, I am a human being created by the Creator, who gave me two brains, a heart brain and a brain that's in my skull. And what the Creator has given me, he explained.
And you are hold on now, pause. You're the only one who has been so blessed by the Creator?
We all are. No, but
what would make your your postulations and prognostications exceed those of the technical teams at the various health authorities across the world, which unite at the point called World Health Organization, WHO.
Okay. Now, you're not allowing me to finish my point, therefore it gets missed.
No. I have to be very careful. I can't just allow you to spew things out there like that. We have to manage the information that's coming out.
What's been going on is that there's been a management of one side. It's a one-side management situation where one side is heard and the other side is always questioned to the hilt, but no one really questions the one side. And the one side is the system.
But the evidence is compelling. The evidence is everywhere. So to unless you are able to present scientifically certified data, and in any case you wouldn't have that because it runs counter to the various health authorities across the world, which are parties to the work of the World Health Organization.
Sir. Okay, allow me to. I hope I could say something without being disrupted. And I'm not trying to insult you or be rude or anything. That's not my intent here at all. Now, what I'm trying to say is this, okay, is that there's a serious effort upon the globalists. Because, people say, well, they don't want the New World Order. They don't want to be vaccinated. But the same people who run the media, who are the elite.
Well, hold on. Stick a pin there. Let's just set something straight here. Nobody anywhere in the world is being forced to take a vaccine. Nobody. That's number one. Nobody, not even in Israel. I have read the stories coming out of Israel on this program. No one, let's make that clear. Absolutely no one, as far as we are aware up to now, anywhere in the world that is forcing people, like running, grabbing people and sticking them. That's not happening anywhere in the world, right? That's number one. Number two, the established protocols, and until research tells us otherwise, until peer-reviewed, scientifically certified research tells us otherwise, masks have been used as protective gear and have been used successfully as protective gear.
But this show is called Both Sides of the Story, but you're not allowing the other side to speak. You keep coming over.
We are not going to allow misinformation. We're not going to allow it. I'm sorry. That social media is wide open and people are free to go on. You can go on a YouTube channel and rant and say anything that comes to your mouth. Such is the nature of social media. This is called free-to-air media. Nobody pays to get access. It's free-to-air media, and we are governed by the principles and policies and regulations and systems and procedures and protocols that social media is not subject to. So we have to take a different tact. Don't know about any other program, but I don't know what inside a courthouse looks like. Don't want to start now.
Question: how come the homeless people aren't dead if COVID is so bad? They don't wear masks and they don't hand sanitize.
As with anything in this life, as in any grouping, anywhere in this world, everything, everywhere, people everywhere, there are going to be different responses. Now, here's the thing. There are some of us who would have been inoculated from birth in those early days when you have to get your shots. Let's not underestimate the impact that those would have had on those of us who would have gotten those shots. People's immune system or individual immune system is subject to who we are and how we treat this body of ours. And depending on how we treat this body of ours, because we are built to be resilient. We are made to be resilient. One moment, please.
Win more money with Lucky Play Lotteries. Play Big Pot, Super 5, and Dream 6 today. The time by Lucky Play Lottery is
2:45. Hose Assembly and Supply HAS is the best at what they do. They supply hoses, fittings, and tools. They guarantee they are unbeatable in price and quality combined. Branded by you as the hose and tool boss with the most effective industrial solutions. Come, experience the joy of shopping with the hose boss. Call 876-923-3936 or visit them at 173 Hagley Park Road, 2 Charlesworth Crescent, or Montego Bay Trade Center. HAS would like to thank their customers for over 30 years.
Healthy habits start with washing your hands several times daily with soap and water. If soap is not available, then use Benjamin's hand sanitizer and use Benjamin's rubbing alcohol for frequently touched surfaces to help prevent the spread of germs and viruses. Don't touch your face with your hands or rub your eyes. Any virus on your hands can make you sick, so wash your hands frequently. Your health is in your hands. Stay healthy with Benjamin's, a trusted name for over a century.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Mama, she's taught us for so long.
Now, to the point, we're built to be resilient. Our bodies are created in such a way that we can it can develop defense mechanisms to deal with attacks on it. So the body itself can fight back. Now, there are certain viruses like the novel coronavirus, the new coronavirus, for which a vaccine or vaccines had to be created to train the body to effectively stave off this attack if and when it happens. Right? So everybody's reaction is different. It's like when you get the vaccine, there's a list of side effects. There are some people who exhibit no side effects at all. There are others who exude minimal side effects. And there are those who have significant side effects, significant being relative. Now, with respect to the street people of which you speak, how do you know they don't have COVID-19? Have you tested them?
Okay.
Have you tested them?
Now, the answer, of course, is no. But what the reason I asked you about this, because this is supposed to be a pandemic, meaning that this is a global effect and there should be people dropping dead on the streets. That's what pandemic means, not just an outbreak. This is called a pandemic for a reason.
But hold on, what do you call 511 people dying in Jamaica? And this is just Jamaica. What about the global numbers? The global death rate. That doesn't mean anything to you?
Sir, I want to say things, but you're going to interrupt me. But
No. Don't use that as an excuse. We're trying to the 2,692,806 global deaths. Are you trying to say to us that is not significant enough to call it a pandemic?
Oh, but you're not allowing me to speak. I don't understand.
You're not answering the question.
Yes, but I wanted to make a point. Then you came and asked me a question.
But you made a point about death as if people are not dropping dead.
You by saying to you that I did not test anyone, and the simple fact that this is called a pandemic, people should be dropping all over the street. Now you say, what do I call 500 people dead? Now this is how I answer that question. in the US, in the UK, and in Canada, stats currently show there has not been any significant increase in the death rate from 2019 to 2020 or 21 to say that anything major. When you look on the map, when you look at the graph, you will never see that there's any sort of uptick in death rate. To say that, oh, there's a pandemic in 2020, there is none. It doesn't show
So
that.
there is. So your position is that there is no pandemic. Let's throw away the masks. Let's do away with science. Let's just live and let live. Is that your conclusion?
Let me just say that.
No. Is that your conclusion?
See, this is what.
No. Is that no? Is that so? You're saying there is no pandemic. That's what you're essentially saying. You're saying there is no pandemic. So we're asking.
You're not
so you
allowed
don't
to-
want us to wear masks, and you're saying there's no pandemic. So let's just do away with the science then. The science, all of that is fake, right?
No. What I'm saying to you, sir, is that when you go to the U.S. and look at their stats, Canada and UK, you will realize that there has been no major death increase during COVID. Why is that?
No
Also,
major death from what? Hold on. No, we have to interrogate what you're saying. No major death from what?
From anything. There's no major increase in death, and that's what occurred during a pandemic. Also, you'll find also that there's been a decrease in the flu death. COVID up, flu down. People, there are people even dying of other issues.
But we know that the
being linked with
numbers,
COVID.
the numbers
So
for flu deaths have always. I mean,
No,
we
they're
don't,
down.
we
They're
don't, we
down.
don't hear.
You don't hear about them now because they're called COVID. Flu is no longer. It's called COVID.
No,
That's
well,
what's going
that
on.
is not
And
true.
Let me
That is
let
not
me give
true.
you some science. Let me give you some science. Okay, you wear a mask, right? We breathe in oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. When you wear a mask, you're breathing your own waste material, which is not good for you. Unhealthy, weakens your immune system. Then they tell you to hand sanitize. When you hand sanitize, you're putting chemicals on your skin. It leaches into your bloodstream.
So
And
don't wash your hands.
your hand with water, not with chemicals.
Oh.
Now you put on hand sanitizers. All you're doing is weakening your immune system. Everything the government told you is to weaken your immune system.
The
And
government,
everything
the government tells you is to weaken your immune system. So what is all of this happening? Is this a big joke? All that's been happening in the world. What is all of that? If you would just be direct, it would help your argument. If you would just be direct. The question is, what do you call all that's been happening? Everybody across the world, all about 193 countries or so, have been faking it then. None of this is real. Let's just wake up and go about and do whatever we want to do, because none of this is real.
I'll tell you as quick as I can, okay? The world, the global NWO, or the Nazi world order.
No. We don't know anything about that. We don't know anything about that. And we don't know anything about that. We don't know anything about that. It sounds as if clearly you're not living in this world. It sounds as if you're living in another world. So, no, creating, you don't just create something out of thin air like that. No, that's, if you're going to come with counter arguments, you still have to stay within the realms of reality and facts. There you are telling us the mask is of no use, quite frankly. There you are telling us this is not a pandemic. I mean, 2,692,806 people. These are not inanimate objects. These are human beings. And multiply that number. They have families. What are you talking about? I don't know. Yeah. Thank you very much for your call. Let's move on. 876-922-4112-5. The man has gone to create to create something that doesn't exist. You may or may not have heard it, listeners, because we had to hit the button. And if the voice sounds a bit wobbly, it's because that's what happens when you have to drop a call for breaching, let's say, broadcast etiquette, so to speak. That's what happened. So we had to drop what he said at the end there because that is lunacy. Lunacy. Let's continue. 876-922-4112. 876-922. There's some of us have to be gatekeepers. We have to be gatekeepers. We can't just fly the gate, as the expression goes. We can't do that. We have to be responsible. Everybody talks about freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Hello. With freedom comes responsibility. With freedom comes responsibility. We don't talk a lot about responsibility, but it's all about freedom, freedom, and free for talk. Of course. Of course. You're free to run your mouth in a bar somewhere, perhaps. Free to run your mouth in your own household or in a public space to those who would listen, or assuming you're not disturbing the peace. But you're not free to come here and traffic in misinformation. You're not free so to do. Right? If you want to put together, whether for argument's sake or otherwise, if you want to put together a set of arguments to engage in a discussion, that's another matter. A discussion that is grounded in logic and rationality, then sure. And obviously facts as well. Or if you're giving your opinion, you can give your opinion. But at the same time, we need to be mindful that we are not being used. That we are not being used to traffic disinformation. We don't want to be a part of that. And we have to be mindful of that. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Let's clear some of the messages that have been popping up here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Let's see. Let's go to WhatsApp and check in with the messages as they are loading up. Here we go. Millicent Morris says, so true, foolishness. We have to be wise. Wayne Golding Sr., CD, JD says, hi, Dervan. Good afternoon to you. Wayne Golding, attorney at law and discretionary member of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council based in Orlando, Florida. He says, good to hear you today. Receiving and controlling pontification of proposed experts who are not qualified. Love the measured control. Mouth make for talk even when brain don't stop to think, says Wayne Golding. Thank you very much for your messages. And looking forward to linking up with you and Lady D Saturday afternoon at 2 on WOKB 1680 AM, originating in Orlando, Florida. Randy Williams says, thank you, Dervan. You're welcome, Randy Williams. And we'll come back with more of your multiple messages on different platforms after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
Big pot, yo. Big pot. Play a big pot, we go win more money, yeah. Win a bigger money, big pot sweet like we dip it in a honey. Win 30 times what you bet, that's how we run it. Big pot a turn out the winnings that I get. Win a 300 for every $10 bet. From 0 to 36, pick a number for guess. When you win more money, feel rich, beat a chest.
Your $10 bet could win 30 times your bet with Big Pot from Lucky Play Lottery. Approved under the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Sometimes we should stop and count to 10 before we make each other hurt. Cause later on you realize it really had no worth. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. Know it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer.
Randy Williams says mask is proven to work. I'm in New York and I don't see a lot of people with the flu this year. I know that's a result of everyone wearing mask. Well, thank you, Randy, for your message. Just a gentle reminder that one thing following another is not necessarily an indication of one causing the other, but it is worth examining. We hope and we would like to think that the scientists, the virologists, the immunologists, the medical experts are disaggregating the data, analyzing, drawing conclusions, and having their work peer reviewed to see if whether the reduction, as you are prognosticating, Randy, of the number of people with flu this year has anything to do with wearing a mask. But thank you for your message, Randy. Bernard Farquharson says, Mr. Malcolm, please, theater, don't stop. Now, we have to be careful, Bernard Farquharson, theater or no theater. We have to be mindful that the children are listening. The work we do is not necessarily, it's really trying to impact the world one generation at a time. And we're always cognizant of the fact that apart from everybody else, the children are listening. Don Marie Smith says, good afternoon. Blessings to you too, Don Marie Smith. Randy Williams says, treat people not getting COVID because people not going around them to give them COVID-19. Simple. Well, there you go, Randy Williams. You have on your thinking cap. That's another point that could be made. Thank you very much for your message. Gaveth Peterson says, good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, Gaveth Peterson. She's suggesting that the caller is on another planet. Inez Campbell-Brown is tuned in as usual from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Apparently, this guy is not a student of both sides of the story. Tell him to listen and he will learn. Preliminary results from studies have indicated that death from flu is down, due to the precautions taken for COVID-19. Well, here's Dr. Dunn, and she should know, confirming what Randy Williams was prognosticating earlier on. You're doing a fantastic job in debunking the misinformation and disinformation, says Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. Thank you very much for your message, Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. I wish I could stay and listen to this, Mr. Malcolm. The guy called about mask. Yeah, well, sorry you missed that. Thank you for your message. Jeremy in Black River uses a stronger term to describe the caller. Not that it's explicit or, but just a little too strong. So we'll hold that back. And yeah, the truth is, truth be told, to pick up on a point that you're making in your message, which I haven't read, is that this has been a traumatic period in the history of the world. It has really been quite traumatic. And there are those of us who have not been able to cope. And invariably, what we do is to create coping mechanisms. We come up with coping mechanisms in order to process all that's been happening for over a year now. So spare a thought. Let's spare a thought for those who are in that position. And it can have implications for one's mental health. And we all have mental health issues, every single one of us, whether we want to accept it or not. We have mental health issues, or we will develop mental health issues at some point. But generally speaking, that's what the experts tell us. The extent to which those mental health issues are exposed is a function of the state of mind of the individual. Or put another way, the capacity of the individual to manage his or her mental health. Because there are a lot of us walking around and appearing to be quite sober, and indeed are sober and coherent and in a good state of mind. However, that would have been helped by, in some instances, by medication or just the patient suppressing certain emotional tendencies. I'm not an expert in any of these areas, just that I've read and I've done so many interviews over these 28 years now that I learned from the professionals as well. So we want to keep those individuals in our thoughts and prayers as well. Those who have not been able to cope, and some of us have created an alternative or a universe, so to speak, as a coping mechanism. But for those of us who know that we need help, let's seek help. And those of us who have family members, friends, colleagues who apparently need help, we should do our best to help them as well. Thank you for your message, Jeremy in Black River, St. Elizabeth. And this one says, hi, Sir Malcolm, long-time listener, first-time texting. That speaker is not in this world. He's coming to you with no scientific evidence to back what he's saying. And you use a strong term there as well. But yeah, Sai, you dealt with him nice and proper. Don Marie from Maypen, Clarendon. Thank you very much, Don Marie in Maypen, Clarendon, for your message. Thank you very much. And we're trying to just keep up with the messages that are popping up and storing the data as well at the same time. Bernadette says, good afternoon, Dervan. I like the way you dealt with the speaker. Masks have been worn over the years by health professionals, and they have been protective. Thank you, Bernadette. Driver in America says, I had to listen close to see if that was my conspiracy, if that was my conspiracy wilding. And Driver in America takes a swipe at the former president of the United States, who he describes as a supporting, wondering if it's a supporting cousin, who was spouting what he was spouting. He has not called me since Biden-Harris won. Oh, thank you, Driver in America, for your encrypted message in parts. Well, encrypted to those of us who are not in your mind. But we get the message. Another message popping up. Good day, Mr. Malcolm. More than half of a million people so far. More than half of a million. It's more than that, actually. It's more than 2.5 million people have died. Okay, I see. So you're referring to. I see. Okay, you're referring to America. So more than half of a million people so far have died in America. Before the pandemic, about how many were dying from other various diseases out of their population of about 350 million? What about the flu? Where has it gone? I still know the mask works. Dell, she's asking, who's going to protect us from the social networks, Facebook, Google, Twitter, and so on? I wanted to hear what he had to say. Well, maybe he has one of those social media accounts. If we get the information, we'll pass it on to you, Miss Dell, to feed your interest. Miss Olive in Portmore is calling us. With her, is that a radio or TV that is on, as usual, Miss Olive, with a lot of noise in the background?
Because I'm in the hospital.
Oh dear. Oh no. Please don't tell us that.
Back in KPH. Same old. Oh God.
Oh dear.
However, what I call you about, while I was waiting at KPH yesterday for them to decide whether they were going to admit me or not, there was this lady who came with a little man, and she started talking about the wheelchairs there are a mess. The wheelchairs are a mess. Some only have one tire. People teeth out the tire. That's what we were told. And some of them, the wheel going one way and you going another way. I mean, and shortage. So she was saying that she have some, I don't know if it's her sister or a friend overseas who sending some things to Jamaica for the hospital, and they're giving her the runaround. So I give her 106 number and tell her to talk to you, or let the person who is having the problems talk to you, and you will direct them as to how to go about it, or if she knows anybody else who is having the same problem, to talk to you, and you will direct them as to how about
Yes, that's
getting
easy.
things
That's
through
easy.
customs.
Miss Olive, I don't know if you can hold, but we have to take the break.
Sure, I can hold.
All right, one moment, please.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15. Hey, you see these days, it's good to get straight to the point. Quick and easy. That's why Western Union gives you another way to receive money straight to your bank account with Western Union's direct-to-bank money transfer. Visit a Western Union agent location and sign up now and tell your family and friends to send your next Western Union money transfer directly to your bank account in Jamaica. It's easy. Visit a Western Union location or call our call center at 876-926-2454. Sign up today to receive a money transfer directly to your bank account with ease with Western Union. Moving money for better.
The Gleaner Premium will excite your digital media experience, satisfy your appetite for exclusive stories and special access to editors' fora, videos, podcasts, and much more. To subscribe, go to jamaica-gleaner.com/premium and select the e-Gleaner or website option. Welcome to your new digital experience, the Gleaner Premium.
Free premium access to unlimited news and value-added offerings. Limited time offer ends soon.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Miss Olive, please continue.
I soon finish talking because I can't talk too long because of this
Sure.
breathing thing.
Go ahead, Miss Olive.
Yeah, so I hope she will get on to you sometime. And but the mistake, I should have taken her number and keep in touch with her, but I didn't do that. So just in case this person call, and I know I told her, I said, Dervan is the one to call. He has a 2 to 5 during the week and a 6 to 9 on Saturday morning. So whichever one you choose, the 6 to 9 is to do with the diaspora, and the other one deal with Jamaica as well as the diaspora. So whichever one you choose, go ahead, and I hope you get the results you're looking for, because hospitals really, really need all the help they can get. They don't have any they call it something, you know. The one with the toilet seats, the one with the toilet seat something. They don't have anything like that in the KPH, none whatsoever. So I had to ask my daughter to buy one for me. I don't know how long I've been here, but commode, that's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
So I asked my daughter to buy one for me and bring it. So my son should have brought it today, but he got here with the traffic and everything. I think he got here late, so maybe tomorrow. But that is it. When I asked the nurse's aide, she said the hospital don't supply that. So I said, okay, ma'am. So them giving me something, so I can't use that. And now, Dervan, I'm walking with a walker instead of a cane. I'm ready to walk.
Oh dear. You're certainly taking it well.
What I say I do, man. You know, make no sense, my friend. Because when the doctor asked me now sugar, I say yes, the one I put in my tea. He look up in the skies and say, what is wrong with you, man? What's the crazy? What's the point? The doctor say, what you going to do with you? All the nurse say, and everybody say, Mrs., you have a sense of humor to die for. I said, maybe that's why I'm still here. Okay. All right, Dervan.
Yes, well, please be safe and take care of yourself. And we hope you don't have to stay too long at KPH this time.
I hope so too.
All right.
All right, have a blessed one.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Some more of the messages now. Let's go to Austin. Austin says, good afternoon, my brother. I've heard people saying that 9/11 was not real. It was a myth. Can you believe? I'm familiar with that, Austin Jackson. Yes, I believe it. I believe that there are people who still take that position to this day. So don't be dismayed. We have such amongst us. Let's keep our focus. Remember, we have had someone on this program telling us that the moon landing was fake. Anybody remembers that? Somebody called us to tell us that as well. So no surprises there at all. Austin Jackson, thank you very much for your message on our, well, that's on Facebook. Thank you very much for your message on Facebook. Let's go to Raskava, who is calling us on our text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp number. And the what?
The pay line.
Yes, he's calling us directly. So he wants the world to know he's paying for the call. Yes, Raskava.
Hi, Miss Olive. Please get well sooner than later. And don't worry about that thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. So all the big ones.
I thought you were going to say Popeye is here for you.
Well, we need not remind her. We all know that.
What's happening?
Yeah, a lot of things are going on about the place, yes. But, you know, what is not real about 9/11? It was not an accident. That's not, that a part of it is not an accident. So it's a planned, what should you call it now, catastrophe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Anybody who was anybody working in that business was not at work that day.
Well, and there's no such thing called coincidence, eh? That's what you're suggesting?
Yeah. Right. So it was a planned atrocity.
Tell that to Jamaica's Jim Parks, who lost his son, and all the others who lost family members.
Somebody murdered his son.
Well, we don't know about that, Raskaba. What we do know is that 9/11 happened. Yes.
And
remember that people, there are people who have resources to be able to make videos, to show you footage, to narrate the videos, and it all appear real, because what they do as well is that they piece things together. They make connections that suit their conclusion or their arguments. And so for the rest of us that are looking on, if unless we are able to provide, to source verifiable data other than everything that is online, then we might want to be cautious in taking a particular position. That's all we're saying. It is a fact that 9/11 took place, a tragedy, a terrible tragedy of immense proportions. And we'll still keep in our thoughts and prayers all those who lost family members, counted in the 2,977 fatalities.
Oh, wow.
And not to mention the 25,000 injuries.
And, you know, we all was saddened and still saddened by that, you know, because we may not have immediate families in there, but we know, so a lot of us would have known one who was involved in it, you know.
Like I said, Father Jim Parks, his son. That's the one I remember most.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you was to analyze the Prime Minister's presentation undertaking nearly 4 hours, how much do you rate it out of 10 and why?
I'm sorry, my days are not that long to be able to. I really haven't been able to go through whether the reporting of the Prime Minister's presentation. Yes, I sat in studio yesterday as we carried the presentation, and there was nothing outside the norm for a budget presentation. It's typical, depending on which position you hold. In this case, the Prime Minister wants to play up, and he would have played up what he would regard as the achievements of his administration, and then he would have sought to play down the positions put forward by the opposition spokesman on finance and the leader of the opposition. So there's I haven't been able to go through word by word, line by line, to dissect and to critique segment by segment. I really don't have the time. I got the general gist. And some of them announcements that were made already of things that have started or are to be started. And yeah, there's.
Well, to me, it was just another presentation that, as you rightly describe it, done by both parties when they go around the podium there. But one thing I heard him said is that why Jamaica got the vaccine first. Did you hear that part?
Why Jamaica got the vaccine first?
Yeah, out of all the other islands.
Oh no, that's under the. When you say that, you have to contextualize it. That's not the first. It's the first under the COVID global access facility known as COVAX. So Jamaica.
Other island got it in the Caribbean before Jamaica.
What's that?
Any of the other islands got it before?
No. Jamaica was the first Caribbean country to receive vaccines under the COVAX facility.
Right, that's what I was saying, but probably not as detailed as you have.
Yeah.
But why you hear the reason why he said that happened?
Maybe not, because I was writing and responding to messages during the presentation, so I might have missed pieces of
what he said, it is not like what I got from it. Then put it that way, it's not coincidence because a lot of work was being done secretly, silently, behind the scene that would have made this thing possible.
Yeah, well, the truth is Jamaica has a lot of people in high places. That agreement with the IMF in 2013 or leading up to 2013, I know of some of the people behind the scenes in the States who were, let's just say, looking out for the land of their birth or the land of their heritage. And it's no different now with respect to COVID-19. Not that they are doing what they perhaps do not want the wealthy countries to do, which is to seek to, I don't want to use the term curry favor, but to seek to find ways to get ahead of the other countries that need vaccines. Because that's the reason why COVAX was created, to try and achieve a level of equity, vaccine equity. And so a state like Jamaica wouldn't want to put itself in a position to be doing what we condemned other countries or warned other countries, especially the rich countries, not to do, which is to use our links to get ahead of others.
Yeah, because what I got from it, what I was thinking about is that I don't think the Prime Minister should have international meetings go on mission on behalf of the country.
Hold on one moment, Raska. But here's the thing. We want to hear what you have to say. We have a scheduled interview in this segment coming up, like this after this commercial break. We'll call you back if we need, if unless you would want to call us back. Either way, we'll make sure you're back on as soon as this segment is through.
Okay, sir.
Thanks for the call.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30. Ready to build, repair, or renovate? ARC Manufacturing Limited is here to serve all your building material needs. We deliver all your roofing, nails, lumber, fencing, wire, cement, and steel products island-wide. Call or visit any of our locations in Kingston and Montego Bay, or check out our website at www.arcja.com. ARC Manufacturing Limited, your building materials specialist.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during both sides of the story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
Show the hurt, cause later on you realize it really had no worth. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. Know it's gonna last forever. I feel us getting closer, closer and closer. It's the time we get it together. Whoa. Mama, she's taught us for so long, with her heart all full of tears, and the wisdom in her eyes kept me safe through all the years.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Just before we get back to your calls and your feedback on multiple platforms, we are standing by to hear about the work of Jamaicans in the diaspora. That work never ends. The Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network, through their youth leadership and technology and entrepreneurship task forces, have been hosting a series of online sessions entitled Connecting to Capital. The series started on the 3rd of March, at which time they discussed business basics. The 10th of March, they looked at digital real estate. Wednesday of this week, because it's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Wednesday of this week, they looked at social media marketing, how to market your business on social media. And in the coming week, they'll be looking at accessing capital, financing, and metrics. And then after that, there will be an Ask Me Anything session that will be held on Wednesday, the 31st of March, 2021. And so we're standing by to connect with Sherry Murray, who is the chairperson of the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force, and Larkland Morley. Larkland Morley chairs the Jamaica Diaspora Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force. And we're going to be learning more about their bilateral workshop series, Connecting to Capital. And for those who'd like to learn more, you can always go to JD-TAN. JD-TAN is short for Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. So let's say hello and welcome to Cherie Murray, Chair of the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force. Good afternoon, Cherie Murray. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Good afternoon, Dervan, and thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you here on both sides of the story. Larkland Morley, welcome to you as well, Chairman of the Jamaica Diaspora Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm here and ready to go.
Great, pleasure. Cherie Murray, first things first. You have so many other things to do. Why are you giving so much of your time and energy and effort to the work of the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force?
Thank you so very much, Dervan. It's been a long journey since I personally left Jamaica when I was 9. And it's been a couple of decades now since I've been here in New York, in the United States. But I always find ways to connect to my home country and to give back. And the Jamaica Diaspora Action Task Force Network is a great opportunity to do so. And we're doing some amazing things, including this Connecting to Capital workshop that we are in the process of facilitating on a bilateral level.
And for you, Larkland Morley, what's sparked your interest? Why did you say yes to chairing the Jamaica Diaspora Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force?
Oh, yes. So I can give my background. So I grew up in Jamaica. I finished high school there and everything. I came to the U.S. roughly 20 plus years ago, to Silicon Valley, actually. And so I've always wanted to give back to Jamaica. In other words, I see that we're struggling in so many areas. So I always want to find a way to give back. So when I was asked to chair the task force, it was a welcoming thing for me. I do a lot of other things. I do assessment for the British Computer Society and all that stuff. But I said I'll definitely find the time to help the average Jamaican to uplift them and to give them as much assistance as possible.
And we appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, Cherie Murray, give us a sense of the nature and extent of the work that the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force has been able to accomplish so far.
Well, this is the first workshop for us this year, as we're very mindful our task force is primarily encompassing of youth. So during the school year, we want to make sure that we're doing things to elevate and educate and inspire them. And that's why this workshop is so significant in its timing too, as the kids are sort of coming out of school with a little bit more focus on something. It's substantive because we want to offer the opportunity to get free technical skills, training, and it's important because we're focusing on emerging technical skills. And we're offering platforms to industry experts that really can connect the dots for new, existing, future entrepreneurs to really understand how to connect their business to capital at whatever stage it is.
Mm-hmm. And Larkland Morley, there have been 3 sessions already, with 2 more to come. What has been the nature and extent of your involvement in the sessions that have gone, and the ones and is that it for you, or you're also going to be involved in the ones to come?
I'll definitely be involved in the ones to come. In fact, I did a presentation a week ago around digital real estate, talking about the different platforms that you can use to go online. And next week, I'll be hosting the one on how to raise capital and how to get financing. And we have some really great speakers lined up on different aspects of financing, right? Whether it's going to be getting a loan or getting a grant or go to investors to fund your business. So that's going to be an exciting one coming up. And of course, the last session, I'll be involved in that as well. Ask Me Anything, where we'll give people a chance to ask questions and give them very, precise answers on how they can move forward and stuff. So definitely involved in the background as well, helping to plan the sessions and all that kind of stuff.
And Sherry Murray, what's your impression of how the Connecting to Capital series has been going so far?
Amazing. I'm so in awe of this past Wednesday, moderated by Cassandra Campbell, who is one of the members of the Entrepreneurship and Technology Task Force. And she's the program manager over at Facebook. And she gave really great nuggets on just that social media marketing perspective. And so from week one, where we started with business basics, we really laid out the foundation, the arteries that you need to have a look at and have lined up to get your business going. And then in the second week, as Lachlan just mentioned, we tackled the digital divide and that digital real estate. Week 3, I'm still just so impressed. I encourage all of your listeners to really check out the Facebook Live videos that's available online. And this is an important nugget to a takeaway from the encompassing seminars and workshops. So anyone who watches the entirety of the workshops will have the ability to receive a certificate of completion. So at the end of each viral workshop, they can do an assessment, and then they'll be able to do or take or receive the certificate of completion. And for anyone interested in registering for the Connecting to Capital workshop, they can certainly follow us on Twitter at Youth Leaders Task Force. Our handle is YL Task Force. They can register. We'll keep them looped, keep them involved to get them more information. And this is significant for scholars and educators who need internship credit or who need to show proof that they've focused in a particular area to an employer or anything in that sphere.
And Lachlan Morley, is there a component that seeks to take Connecting to Capital to another level, meaning beyond discussions, awareness, information sharing? Is there a component, or is it then just left up to those who receive the information, those who participate in the sessions on a Wednesday evening from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 to 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time?
Yes, a good question. Very good question. So one of the things we always push in the task forces is the whole idea of mentoring and support. So once you get the information and you start to work on your business, what we will do is we'll actually provide mentoring, and the contact information will be there on the page where people register. We'll definitely provide support in the background so people can actually come back to us and say, we're struggling, we need help with this, or we need pointers and stuff. And all the speakers have actually made themselves available as well. So they can go to the speakers and get help directly and or post a question in a forum on JD10. So we're definitely not going to just leave people with information and run away. In fact, the whole idea is to do this for the long haul, where we are here to support them, to help them to achieve a lot of things. One thing I want to emphasize as well is that we cannot break it down into 2 buckets of people. You have people with information like yourself who are experts at a certain topic. We want to help those people to find a way how they can get their voice out there and turn that into capital as well. And of course, if you have physical products, if you have a spice in Jamaica that you want to sell to New York or to Germany, for that matter, we give you the tools where you can actually put it online and get that spice to somebody in Germany. So the whole idea there is not just to give you information and walk away, but is to give you the tools and the support to enable, to achieve your capital journey.
Oh, and if I could just add a little bit to that, Dervan, too, the task force network spans to 21 different countries. And so far, We've hosted presenters from Trinidad and Tobago, California, New York, Florida, Jamaica. And so, it's multilateral in terms of connecting with your audience. And those are some of the key takeaway. And even from week one, where we had Major, who is a certified NGO instructor, she actually teaches these NGO classes for free. And she has them coming up here in New York, in Queens, for anyone who's in the vicinity to come out starting April 7th. So we do offer those resources as well throughout the course of each workshop.
Tell us some more after the break, please, listeners. Cherie Murray and Larkland Morley, representing the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force and the Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force, respectively, giving us all the details on their Connecting to Capital virtual workshop series. The next one is scheduled for Wednesday, the 24th of March. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Healthy habits start with washing your hands several times daily with soap and water. If soap is not available, then use Benjamin's hand sanitizer and use Benjamin's rubbing alcohol for frequently touched surfaces to help prevent the spread of germs and viruses. Don't touch your face with your hands or rub your eyes. Any virus on your hands can make you sick, so wash your hands frequently. Your health is in your hands. Stay healthy with Benjamin's, a trusted name for over a century.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First San in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First San team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First San in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First San Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
Really had no worth. I see love from a distance, coming but slowly. Know it's gonna last forever.
Beres Hammond sings about love from a distance. We're getting a lot of love from Jamaicans in the diaspora. That hasn't waned at all. And it continues, not just, and we keep emphasizing, it's easy, very easy to talk about financial remittances when it comes to Jamaicans in the diaspora. But Jamaicans in the diaspora are way more than about financial remittances. We always like to talk about the intellectual remittances. Yes, intellectual remittances, like the exchange of ideas, best practices, experience, sharing, networking, as has been happening on the Connecting to Capital series. Again, it's the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force and the Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force hosting the virtual workshop series entitled Connecting to Capital. They have done 3 already: business basics, digital real estate, social media marketing, coming up on Wednesday, the 24th of March, accessing capital, financing, and metrics, how to finance your business and deal with financial institutions, measuring the performance of the business, and pivoting, keyword during COVID-19, based on customer feedback. That presentation takes place on that workshop on Wednesday, the 24th of March, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will go for an hour and a half, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 6 to 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time. How easy is it? How accessible is it for those of us here in Jamaica and elsewhere in the diaspora? Is it necessarily targeted to Jamaicans here at home, or Jamaicans abroad, or Jamaicans everywhere? Larkland Morley?
Yes, so I think it was primarily targeted for Jamaicans at home, but it can be, the material is pretty universal. It can be used for anybody, Jamaicans abroad as well. We're trying to make sure we uplift those at home as well in order to start their business and to expand their existing business. But the material is pretty universal. It's pretty capital is capital anywhere you go. The same best practices apply. So definitely it can be applied to any Jamaican anywhere, whether they're in the US, Canada, UK, or even in mainland Europe, so to speak.
And what has the general interest been like, Cherie Murray? Are those of us here at home taking advantage of the wealth of knowledge, experience, and expertise that you've been having on board on these Connecting to Capital virtual workshops?
Yeah, so last week we had a phenomenal lineup with experts from PayPal, also Facebook. This week we have, as we transition to accessing capital and financing and the metrics, speakers from Chase Bank. We also have a digital executive from the Prosper Group lined up and confirmed to really share nuggets. And this is for more established entrepreneurs. This is where you're gauging how your business is doing, best practices, as Larklin attributed to, and how to gauge whether what we're doing is working or our investments, do we need to move them to another focus area as it relates to marketing and social media. So we really try to connect technology and all of those components. But this week coming up is going to be, I think, the most significant, as people want to know where to get the money, right? So we have our bankers coming on, we have our financial experts. And so, I think this is the one to not miss for all of your viewers out there. And we're on the Jamaicans.com platform also. As we go into metrics for the last 3 weeks, we gauge viewership. The first week we're up to, I think, 2,000 viewers. The second week, and this is just a small little network, right? Of people who love Jamaica, from Jamaica, first or second generation, that is giving back that intellectual property. So there's a lot. It's a lot to take away, and we're just proud and honored to really be a part of Leo's vision and all of the people on the back end too. Leo moderated this last workshop, week 3, and after one of the questions, I think it was very simple: how can I get verified on Facebook, right? And when we closed off the thing, Leo said, well, needed I take out my phone or needed no, how we can get verified on Facebook? So as Larklin said, there's a lot for everybody. As we execute these workshops of Connecting to Capital.
Yeah. So what's the standard way of... Sorry, go ahead, Larklin.
No, I want to emphasize one thing about metrics as well, that metrics are very important. So I work at Google. I used to work at Facebook, actually. I just moved over to Google in the last year. And one of the things that's important is to think about experimentation. And so when you start your business, you want to look at your metrics and see where it's going, so that you can make a decision whether you pivot or you get out of business or you continue on the path you're on. So I think that's something we want to definitely emphasize this week coming up, to show that you don't get too in love with your idea and not focus on what's coming back to you in terms of customer response and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that's emphasized.
Yeah. And you have been naming a couple of platforms, Cherie Murray. You mentioned Jamaicans.com. So they carry it live as well? They carry the workshops live, Jamaicans.com?
Yes, they do. Thank you for the support. They do. We cross-platform on Jamaicans.com, Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network.com. It would certainly be an honor to cross-platform on your streaming networks as well, Dervan. You do amazing work, and any way that we can help share, just the great work that you do to help uplift us too in diaspora. It's just a natural progression.
Yes. No, we really would love to be able to share on our platform the link, and we can always discuss that. But for the general public listening, those right here in Jamaica, they're listening to us. They're saying, "Oh, Sherry Murray and Larkland Morley, all right, Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force and Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force. It sounds interesting." And they're going to talk about accessing capital, financing, and metrics. Now, this is huge in Jamaica because there's a sense that I know I think we have one, what do you call them, angel financiers, one of those. I think we have one such organization in Jamaica, if as far as I know. But for the most part, the financiers, the people with the capital are, and we don't expect people to just jump in and just give money or invest money like that. But one gets a sense of us, our capitalists, being a little investor shy when it comes on to some of our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And so there are those who would want to access capital, and learning now that come Wednesday, the 24th of March, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, that there will be a workshop on accessing capital, financing, and metrics. Now, for those who are excited by the subject of the presentation scheduled for Wednesday, the 24th, what do you suggest? How do they become a part of it? How do they register? What do they need to do?
Well, the most basic thing is just to follow us on Twitter. So all of our information is there. And the registration link is there as well. For more information on the Action Network, your listeners can go to jdtan.org, and they'll find more information about our task force and the other task force, as we are a group of task forces across 21 countries. And so the most basic thing to do is just go to Twitter. Our handle is YL Task Force. That's Youth Leaders Task Force. And you'll find the registration link there. You can sign up. And once you sign up via the registration link, we'll be immediately in contact with you. Rodianne Thorpe, who is out in France, who is a rock star, just received the Leadership Award from Prime Minister Holness, is a part of our dynamic team, and she has been facilitating the communications on the back end. So it's a very coordinated team effort, and we really want to make sure that we reach out to anyone who has registered. So that's the best way to go about it.
And for you, Larkland Morley, what stands out up to this point in your involvement, your work with the Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force? What stands out for you up to this point? And if it is that which stands out came out of Connecting to Capital, one of those workshops, please share.
Yes, sure. So I think this is definitely one of the things that stands out. And the teamwork that we had with the team is four of us actually coordinating it and working with the speakers and all the technology enablement platforms that we use to run the seminars. I think I'm very impressed with that. The content was really good. So if I go back to the Technology Task Force itself, what we're trying to focus on is on technology-enabled business. So as we talk about funding, I live in Silicon Valley where there's tons of money invested in technology. And people are looking for visionary ideas, and they're always looking for visionary ideas. So one of the things we're going to talk about coming this Wednesday is how we can enable people to tap into those sources. And one concept, just a preview that we're going to talk about, is the whole idea of social impact investing, where you can actually get funding based on affecting social issues, like whether it's crime or youth unemployment and stuff. So we're definitely going to touch on that to some extent. But in terms of the Technology Task Force, we've been doing a lot of other things. In fact, we're working with the Ministry of Education to see how we can get more tablets to schools. not just get the tablets to them, but get connectivity to the schools as well as training the teachers for the classroom of the future. Because it's not just about COVID. After COVID, you still have to use technology to get more efficient ways of doing things, right? It's not just about saying, hey, COVID is over, we're going to go back to the blackboard. We want to show them how they can use digital technologies to be more efficient and to achieve better educational outcomes. So that a lot of work we're doing in the background. We're trying to do a lot of programs, but those are some of the main ones that jumps out for me. But definitely very excited to help and to give back for sure.
Great. And you, Cherie Murray, as we wrap, your final thoughts?
Yes, I am really looking forward to week 5, actually, where we have our esteemed presenters and a good friend of mine, Chris Daly, who is from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. I really want to, just ask him a couple of questions about my ideas.
One moment. Don't move, Cherie Murray. We need to take a break, and then we'll come back and give you an opportunity to wrap.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Tune into Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First San in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First San team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First San in the Field, real issues, real solutions is brought to you by Newport First San Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
Love from a distance, and we continue to get a lot of love from the Jamaican diaspora. Thank you so much for all you do in service to Jamaica, land we love. And online we have 2 members of the diaspora who have been playing their part, leading their respective teams in support of Jamaica and Jamaicans. Cherie Murray chairs the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force, and Larkland Morley chairs the Jamaica Diaspora Technology and Entrepreneurship Task Force. They have been sharing with us the details of the Connecting to Capital workshop series, virtual workshop series, which started on the 3rd of March. And every Wednesday in March, they've been hosting so far for the last 3 Wednesdays. There are 2 more to come. They've been hosting these sessions, these life-changing sessions, these attitude and business altering presentations in more ways than one, because there's a lot. They're going to the experts, the professionals, those within the Jamaican family, at home and abroad, so to speak. And of course, those who we like to classify as friends of Jamaica. They just love Jamaica and Jamaicans, and they make their contribution as well in these sessions. So the next session is on Wednesday, the 24th of March, Accessing Capital, Financing and Metrics. How to finance your business and deal with financial institutions, measuring the performance of the business and pivoting based on customer feedback. That's coming up on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we're looking forward. So Cherie Murray, sorry, we cut you midway because we had to take the break. Please continue your closing statements.
Thank you, Dervan. I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to week 4 and week 5 as we close out the workshop, the bilateral workshop Connecting to Capital. And I'm looking forward to Chris Daly, who is over at the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And he's also a seasoned digital expert. And we also have David Mullings. You may know Mr. David Mullings,
oh, yes,
CEO and founder of the Blue Maho Capital. He has offered to give away one of his books to one of the participants throughout the course of our workshop. So we're really honored that, we're having the opportunity to give back and to present one of his books to one of our registrants at the Connecting to Capital workshop.
Well, we want to thank you both for staying true to Jamaica's national pledge, as I like to paraphrase, playing your part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. But I usually put in the proviso that passing christening picnic first. And so we look out for Jamaica. Nothing wrong with that. If you think something is wrong with that, just remember what the flight attendants will tell you, the purser, and demonstrated by the flight attendants. In the event of an emergency, you put on your mask first before helping others. That's what our people do. We help our people and we help others. Right, Cherie Murray and Larkland Morley?
Yes,
Yes,
I
Dervan,
mean,
that's
you're,
definitely true.
yeah, man. Listen, we are learning so much from this. So we want to thank all of our presenters who've shared such substantive information with us so far. We're taking away intellectual knowledge from the process. So thank you, Dervan. Thank you, Larkland. Thank you to your audience. And thank you to all of our presenters. And we look forward to them joining us this coming Wednesday.
Thank you very much. And if I could be as bold as to claim to speak on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I say on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, thank you both and all the members of your respective task forces and the other task forces which fall under the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. A grateful nation says thank you.
Thank you, Dervan.
Thank you.
All the best. Take care.
Thank
Yes, this is the kind of discussion that we enjoy. People helping people, our people, Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica, important category, joining forces for the betterment of Jamaica. It's not just about the financial remittances. We need that. And the members of the diaspora have sent that down in record numbers. Just ask Don Webby and his team at Grace Kennedy Money Services, Western Union. Yeah. So that's the financial remittances. But we want to encourage even more of the intellectual remittances. These are our people. Can you imagine? We have our people. They're so good. You're working at Facebook, Larkland Morley, and Google says, no, man, come and work for us. And chance, well, I don't want to get into the business, but I'm just saying that we have a heavyweight in Larkland Morley, for example. I don't want to load it up too much because you know how it is when you're part of these mega businesses like Facebook and Google. You can't put everything out there. But yeah, he was working at Facebook. Now he's working at Google. I'm just saying, this is a Jamaican. And there are other Jamaicans in Silicon Valley. There are other Jamaicans there as well in Northern California who are very good at what they do, and they are sought after. You don't just move from Facebook to Google like that. You don't just move to Facebook like that in the first place. You would be of a certain caliber, a certain pedigree, a certain character. That's the idea. And Cherie Murray is a heavyweight in her respects. A businesswoman, involved in public service as well. She has dabbled in politics as well to try and serve people, to help people. And here she is playing her part as chairperson of the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force. Now, Cherie Murray and Larkland Morley and all the participants, they have families, they have businesses, they have work, they have other things to do, but they make the time. They make the time to give back or pay it forward, whichever one you prefer, to the land of their birth. And that's not that we should never take that for granted. We should never take that for granted. Even as we salute those right here on the rock who continue to play their part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. The idea is one hand can't clap, as we know in Jamaica. So it's demonstrating once again what can happen when Jamaicans abroad join hands with Jamaicans at home. And so we encourage you to follow JD Tan. Just Google JD Tan, which stands for Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. And if you want to be a little more specific, for example, with respect to the Youth Leadership Task Force, the Jamaica Diaspora Youth Leadership Task Force, you can find them on Facebook and Twitter, Youth Leaders Task Force, or you can use the handle at YL Task Force. And we humbly submit and suggest all the entrepreneurs listening to us and the budding entrepreneurs, here's a session for you as part of the Connecting to Capital virtual workshop series. Wednesday, the 24th of March, Accessing Capital, Financing and Metrics. How to finance your business and deal with financial institutions, measuring the performance of the business and pivoting based on customer feedback. Thank you very much, Sherry Murray and Larkland Morley. And thank you, listeners, for your indulgence. We thank Raskava for his indulgence as well, because he was in the middle of expressing himself. And then we had to break for the feature. Thank you very much. So Raskava, we're going to call you back right now. So if you're eating, finish that morsel of food that you're eating and get ready to go live once again. Calling you right now, Raskava. Raskava, we're getting voicemail. Is it that you're calling us while we're calling you? Well, you call us back then, Raskava, because we just got voicemail a while ago. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. If you're still listening, Raskava, maybe he's gone to do some other business. In the meantime, let's continue with your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. We feel like we've been neglecting our viewers on YouTube. Let's see. Good afternoon to Rose McIntosh. Well, Raskava is calling through now. I think he got the message. Yes, Raskava, thank you.
Yeah, man. I was saying that, if our prime ministers of XM singled out of others should go on private visits to private meetings on behalf of the country without report that is going or what he achieved from it.
Yeah, well, the general practice is that there are different ways. For example, what he has done in the past is to report to Parliament the details of whatever travel he would have engaged in. In terms of meetings, now we're in the virtual age. Meetings online, it's at that level, we know that there are some information that cannot be made public, but in a general sense, absolutely, the Prime Minister has a duty to, insofar as that duty is not superseded by the safety and security of the nation's business, national security. That whatever is going to be disclosed is not going to be deleterious, not going to be bad, or not going to be causing some bad repercussions for the country. But once it clears that test, that litmus that test, then it should be, by all means, the Prime Minister should share with the nation how he is working on behalf of the nation, and whatever relationships at the bilateral or multilateral levels that he is taking the country into. So all of that, by all means, should be shared.
I thought as much, but even this, what he went.
Sorry, Raskaba, we're on a break again. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now.
It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
The Gleaner Premium will excite your digital media experience, satisfy your appetite for exclusive stories and special access to editors' fora, videos, podcasts, and much more. To subscribe, go to jamaica-gleaner.com/premium and select the e-Gleaner or website option. Welcome to your new digital experience, the Gleaner Premium.
Free premium access to unlimited news and value-added offerings. Limited time offer ends soon.
Coming back slowly. I know it's gonna last forever.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在地点了10点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. We also hope you managed to get in we first of all hope that you had a productive day of learning today. And we hope that you also got in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, Raskava.
Yes, sir. I think when the Prime Minister makes such visits, it should be an API, GIS, or...
API, you're aging yourself now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that,
Yes.
There is one government where they abuse by changing its name from one government to the other. While
it's governments do that all the time. Well, is it so much governments or the politicians themselves? Because the politicians make up the government to some extent, to a large extent, in terms of the decision and policy making positions. And invariably, I guess everybody wants to leave a mark. So if I change the name of this program, then let it be said, let the records show that I was the one or our government was the one to change it.
But that's waste of money. When especially the municipalities, parish council buildings, when one pet coat, another one going and change the color where they painting, why shouldn't they just paint it in a neutral color?
Yes.
That both accepted.
But it should never. I mean, mind you, neither the Jamaica Labour Party nor the People's National Party has any right to the colors green and orange. Those were created long before these parties. They don't. So I mean, you should be free to use whatever color. But since this is Jamaica, just use a neutral color because after all, the municipal corporation represents constituents or from both sides.
Yeah, representative sits in that council same way.
That's right.
You know, that's why I'm saying that these things do happen, and a lot of things we don't hear, because even before the last election, you know, there were rumors, and after the election, that the election was bought and paid for by one of America's great. And I've seen photographs with both of them together as long as far back as 2018, and I've never heard.
That again is another of the conspiracy theories. There are a lot of those out there. Careful, Rascava.
No, but that's why I'm saying when he goes on his visit and he come back and he tell us, nobody can go around it and create whatever they want to say about it.
Well, people will always debate it. Any way you take it, people will always debate it. But at least he would have done his duty to outline to the nation the purpose of the visit and the nature and extent of the discussions, insofar as that information can be divulged, the nature and extent of the discussions that they would have engaged in, and how the country will benefit, or how is the country expected to benefit from those talks or those arrangements. Yeah.
So the manipulators, twisters would not have a solid ground to stand on when they might do and say what they might say. Because it would be out there in the public why he went and what was achieved and what we are going to be achieving.
Yeah, well, in communication, Rascava, it's about getting your narrative out there first. Be the first to get. Don't wait until somebody leaked the information and then you're playing catch up after that. You be the first. It's right.
And then you can explain what happened.
That's right.
When you put it out there first, you care not what others want to say, because I have no ground, because you already stated the facts already.
In cricketing terms, you would have smothered the spin.
Yeah, but you have to dance though.
I was watching a recording of an old cricket match. Old is relative, with Marlon Samuels doing some serious dancing in India. In I think that was a World Cup cricket World Cup match. Serious dancing. And I remember the conversation we had here as I was watching. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I don't know, but as it depends on the cricket, give thanks again, man, for get us here to finishing, and congratulations to West Indies for winning both series. And
sorry, what did you say? Congratulations?
No, I said GRAND.
I heard you. I'm troubling you. Congratulations. I get you. All right.
To congratulate somebody is a good thing. Make it grand.
Right. Rastaman, no deal with conting. No con.
No con. Yeah. So, you know, Chris Gayle now manage the spin good again. In a dance, I don't know. But, you know, he would have done his work already. So, if he want to play exhibition cricket now, so be it.
Yeah, I missed that. There was a series of exhibition cricket matches. Some, so I don't want to call them old cricketers, but Brian Lara was one of them. I missed that. That was on one of the sports channels, I think yesterday or day before. Yeah.
And that can earn a lot of money for your country, or for your charity, of your choice, too, you know.
Yes. There's a lot of good to be done by a lot of these former cricketers, and they have done, and no doubt they are doing. Yeah.
But give thanks again, my brethren, and stay safe.
All right. Have a good weekend.
No, you have a
All right, Raskava, take care. All the best. This is your program. You know, Rastaman, not into weekend. It's a strong end. All right. Yes. Only in Jamaica. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Driver in America says, keep smiling at the storm, Miss Olive. That's the lesson for us all. Bless up. Indeed, we join you in conveying those sentiments to Miss Olive as well. Still keeping her spirits up, no matter what. From one hospital to another, between KPH and National Chest Hospital, but most of that time at Kingston Public Hospital. And Miss Olive has nothing but good things to say about KPH, especially KPH and National Chest Hospital. We wish you well, Miss Olive, and all the others who are infirmed at the moment, all those who are in our hospitals and other medical facilities, or public hospitals and other medical facilities, those who are getting treatment, those who are getting whether treatment of oxygen, those who are on dialysis, those family members, the family members who are having to do the best they can in making sure that their relatives get the necessary treatment. We wish everybody well, and just hope that those who are not well will get well soon, and will get as close to 100% as possible, get back to as close as 100% as possible. We have to remember that we're quite frail as human beings, as resilient as we are. It seems contradictory, but it is true. All it takes, it doesn't take much actually, doesn't take much for us to move from one stage to another, from life to death, from good health to bad health. Let's think on these things. We can't help but think on these things. It's all around us. Let's see. Raymond Black says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan, and all the viewers and listeners. Blessed weekend to you too. Blessings, Raymond, says Rose McIntosh, who says, so true, sir. We need to care for one another. For me, it's always a joy to do so. Ain Harris says, good afternoon, Dervan. What happened in New York, Italy, Spain, and France? Lines of ambulances, converted trailer morgues, body bags, and flooded hospitals. Apparently, seeing is no longer believing. And that's in reference to our comments made by our first caller this afternoon. Shane Burke says, what's up? Or what up? We're fine, thanks, Shane Burke. Hope it's the same with you and yours. Rose McIntosh is greeting Shane as well. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, is greeting us. Good afternoon, Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida. Thank you very much for keeping in touch with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's clear some more of the messages. The text line 876-365-3346, same as the WhatsApp message. Is a carbon dioxide molecule larger than the virus? Is a question, no doubt, which was being put to the caller earlier this afternoon. A lot of this one says, afternoon, Sir D. I like to hear debates and arguments on certain topics to get a sense of where the person is coming from. Might sound weird, but is there a contact or so with the caller earlier talking about COVID and the flu rates in America and Canada? Would be appreciated. No, we don't have a number, but if he's still listening and if he calls to give us his number, we'll be more than happy to pass it on to you. All the best. And yeah, we love debates too. We used to be involved in debating in school. And yeah, we enjoy a good debate, but we also have we also have a duty to protect the public and to comply, importantly, to comply with the broadcasting regulations, procedures, protocols, systems, processes, etc. Here's a call coming through on our WhatsApp line, 876-365-3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Mr. Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yes, how are you?
I am giving thanks for life, and you?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great, man. I was trying to call you on the landline, from my landline, but
all right,
it's just ringing and then it's
sorry,
you cannot make any call on there.
Sorry, just hold a moment, please. We need to take a break. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Tune in to Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:35 a.m. the first Tuesday of every month, and 6:18 to 6:45 p.m. the last Tuesday of every month for First Hand in the Field. Real issues, real solutions. Join the Newport First Hand team in the field as they identify problems and tell you how to address them. First Hand in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions is brought to you by Newport First Hand Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:29. 现在几点了？5点29分. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yes, Mr. Dervan, yes. As I was saying, I was trying to call you on your landline.
Yes.
But it rings for about like 7 times, and then you cannot make any call at this moment. So there's something going on with the landline. I was using my landline to call your landline.
So sorry.
So there's something going on.
I'm not sure what
something
that
going
is.
on there with it.
But yes. Happy that you're able to get through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So I just turned to the WhatsApp. You know, as always, I'm calling you from Yonkers, Westchester County.
Yes.
Yes. You know, giving you a little shout out and everything.
Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. Just want to say, you know, shout out to you know, those that are in the region of your audience. You know, and you know, Mr. Dervan, I went to the meat market this morning. You know, I've been buying meat at that place for like over 30 years. So I was having a discussion with the guy there, and he was telling me about, you know, he was saying that he don't understand why the things from Jamaica, when they go where they go to get their stock from, it's like a war. They have to be war with the Korean people to get this stuff, because as long as it's not Jamaica, then it's like everybody, that's what everybody fighting for. And he was showing me, you know, some of this stuff in the store, that if you have these stuff here, these are like live money. But then the thing is, he was saying that, you know, what people do, they bring their stuff come here and they rip their labels off of it. And they put a Jamaica label on there just to get themselves. And I said, yeah, no, that's been happening for a long, long time.
A very long time. People have been Go ahead.
Yes. But what is our people doing about it? What is our government doing about those stuff? That's supposed to be happening.
Well, there are some things that they can do, and Jamaica is a signatory to the World Intellectual Property Office WIPO agreement and all that comes with that. And there are certain mechanisms, but it's technical. It can be quite technical, so we leave that to the experts. But we trust and we know that Lily Claire Bellamy and her team, for example, at the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, continue to play their part, and they encourage Jamaicans all over the globe. If you see a product parading as being made in Jamaica or being a Jamaican product, and you know otherwise, or information on the packaging says otherwise, then take a picture of it, and you can always WhatsApp it to us, and we'll be happy to forward it to the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office.
Okay. So you don't have anybody like go out and go around to these, especially these major cities like New York and
it's not totally necessary.
To make sure
it's not totally necessary to, especially in this day and age of technology where you can go live on your smartphone from wherever you are. All it needs is just for Jamaicans to take it up, to say, hey, I don't like how this whoever make this product pretending as if it's Jamaican and it's not, and I want Jamaica to do something about it. And you take the picture, send us, and we'll forward it to the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office.
So what can they do? So what they're gonna do about it now?
They are going to take it from there. They're going to take it from there. Once they have the information. If the protocols and systems and procedures and policies and all the arrangements that are in place allow for the correction of that situation, then they will pursue it.
Well, it's just a shame that they've been using brand Jamaica to be selling their stuff, really, and that's not happening with no other countries. I mean, Jamaica is their main target.
Well,
they target us a lot in everything they're doing here.
Yeah, and we sadly too many of us have not seen the value of brand Jamaica, don't really appreciate the value of brand Jamaica, and others see it and they capitalize on it, albeit in a number of instances fraudulently so. But again, if those of us as Jamaicans in the diaspora, another way for us to help to protect brand Jamaica is to become brand Jamaica police, a brand Jamaica police team across the diaspora. All you need to do is just, nobody can stop you from taking a picture of the product.
No, nobody can stop you. I mean, you can even purchase the product and take a picture of it. But the thing is, how comes we have never heard of it like this before? That we could do this stuff, because this is not my first time hearing, that every suspicion should
Yes, this has been from the days of Tony Leng, because Tony Leng was a copyright specialist, a cultural activist, musicologist, among other things, and almost virtually every program he did, intellectual property was discussed, and ever so often Jamaicans were encouraged from back then to help us to police our brand abroad. And we have had Lily Claire Bellamy and other members of the team from the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, JIPO, over the years discussing these matters. Usually, April, I don't remember the date in April. There's a week in April that is Intellectual Property Week, and the awareness is usually heightened at that time. So maybe most of your Aprils were spent listening to something else or being elsewhere, so you would have missed all of those. Sorry.
Yes, okay. So what have been done away from the discussion? Did anything have ever been done about it?
Well, that's something we'll definitely need to follow up on. We in fact, just the other day we had Lily Claire Bellamy on this program some time ago. It didn't occur to me to ask her that particular question, and we'll have to arrange to have her back on this program, more specifically to talk about policing brand of Jamaica at home and abroad.
Yes, and all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is that as I was listening to the man agenda this morning, and somebody were saying about the the crime and everything in Jamaica, and as Sandra was saying that they tried to get the police commissioner to speak with, tried to get him on the radio for the longest time, and he's just not available. My thing is, I want to ask who are these people really working for? If they don't think they are the servants of the people, and they should be happy to come speak to us, let me know what's going on. Just coming to talk to Sandra, he's coming to talk to us here, want to hear from him. So I'm just letting him know that he should make himself be available, knowing that he is the servant of the people. And we want to hear from him because the things that have been taking place, it's just too much for a little country like Jamaica, with so much murder, so much killings across the island. No, man, it cannot continue this way. And we cannot have some, who's supposed to be there protecting the, to give protection to the people. They go on silence. We're not hearing from them. Yes, we want to hear from them. Well, it's a radio. So we want to, when he come, if he should come on the radio, he's not just coming to talk to Sandra to Jamaica, he's coming to talk to us in the diaspora. So we want to hear him to come on out and to let us know what plans he has there to deter crime. Because you must have to have something out there to deter criminals. And what is there to deter? It means that it should be known to criminal and everybody. It can't be anything in secret. Somebody must know when you plan to go do some crime, you got to know what the law is all about, and if the law should get, you should get caught up with the law, then this is what's gonna be happening to you. So I'm saying to the police commissioner that he must step up, and if he don't think he can able to handle the job, I think the best thing is to step out. That somebody else who can manage, they can get some fresh blood, somebody with the energy and the vigor, to deal with this thing, because there's no way we can have a country being running like the way it's been going on here.
I'm afraid to say, though, I'm afraid to say that that's part of the problem why we're here, because we invest a lot of our energies and hopes and pin our hopes on one individual being able to solve crime or to bring down the numbers. And that's where we keep missing it, because the point is no. I know I've talked about the power of one. So it's possible for one person to make a difference. However, we have been here before. We have changed police commissioners. We have changed ministers of national security. We have been changing. We've been changing people. So it will just be more of the same, basically. Just keep changing. But if all other things remain equal, the problem will continue, and we'll just change again. And if all other things remain equal, we'll just keep changing personnel, and that in and of itself not making a difference.
So that means that's where the problem is. We're just changing and no result.
Yeah, and part of it too is that we have never really treated crime as a crisis in Jamaica. It's always bits and pieces here and there. We start a program, we start a squad, We start a series of raids. We do some spot checks. We do some put in place some states of emergency, and then so it's a lot of stop and start, stop start, stop start, stop start. Nothing sustainable thus far.
So if I'm hearing you right, you mean that life doesn't matter much. You know, when one dies, it doesn't really it doesn't count. It doesn't really matter too much. You know, life, not an animal we're talking about here, but human being.
Well, like most things in this life, they after a while, if something becomes the norm or becomes common, some of us tend to become immune. And there are a few more words we could use, but we need to take the break. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
The biggest gaming experience is here. With over 100 chances to win millions of dollars in cash prizes every week. Better odds and bigger payouts.
Listen to the story of the Jamaican diaspora on Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. during Both Sides of the Story with host Dervan Malcolm, the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. That's Diaspora Check-In every Wednesday during Both Sides of the Story, brought to you by GK Western Union. Receive money directly into your bank account today.
The following is an announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise the public that for the period Sunday, March 14 to Friday, March 19, only healthcare workers and members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, and the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, cabinet members, parliamentarians, and heads of ministries, departments, and agencies of government who are 60 years and older will be inoculated with a COVID-19 vaccine. The public is reminded that vaccines are being administered according to the approved schedule and, for the safety of all concerned, is urging persons to attend vaccination sites island-wide only after they have received their appointments. The ministry thanks the public for their cooperation. The proceeding was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Que ahora es en español, son las 5 menos 13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5h moins 13. 现在地点了5点13分. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Right. Some of us have become numb to all that's been happening because it's become entrenched, deeply rooted in our culture here in Jamaica, and so it's no longer a breaking story, quite frankly.
But that has to change, Mr. Dervan, because I want to speak to a previous commissioner that was there before. And when I say what he did, then he will know who I'm talking. I'm not going to even mention his name. But he was there for a little bit, and the first thing he did, he graded himself. And his grade was 10 out of 10. And when he gave himself that grade, 10 out of 10, nobody had seen that what he was trying to tell them something, giving them a message that, listen, don't expect anything more from me, because there's no room for improvement. I'm already maxed out, because I grade myself 10 out of 10, which when you were going to school, I'm pretty sure you were not allowed to grade yourself. But he gave himself that grade, and he was telling them that I'm maxed out. so don't expect anything more from me. And I'm being surprised that nobody had seen that. Why nobody had seen that he was trying to tell them something that he was at his max.
Yeah, we have to be true. We have to be true to ourselves. We should know ourselves, know what we are capable of, know when we have hit the summit, or know when we are at our lowest point, know when whatever is happening or whatever we've been tasked with has gotten bigger, much bigger than our capacity to deal with, and act accordingly. So it boils down a lot of it boils down to the individual. Yes, there are individuals who will tell you, well, there is a plan. We're working on a particular project now. Yes, I am going to perhaps consider stepping down or leaving at X point, but I just really want to get this done first because I believe it's going to have a lasting impact on on safety and security in Jamaica, for example. So whatever place that person is coming from, demonstrating that he or she recognizes that he or she does not have all the answers, and perhaps he or she has reached a particular point where the baton needs to be passed. No, that's always a sign of a conscientious individual, as opposed to those who couldn't care less. I am it, and that's it.
Yeah, but even those who put in them there, why can't they see that it's not working?
It's not. One does not just become whether it's the Judicial Services Commission or the Police Service Commission. You have to. There is a process to go through. There are people of a certain caliber and quality who vet people seeking to occupy certain positions. So they would have gone through, and they would have interviewed candidates and come to a particular conclusion about one candidate or another.
Well, like I said, man, but we just cannot continue down this path. We have to make some drastic changes.
We've been making drastic changes for years, though. We've been making drastic changes from some people go back to what's it? Red fence. It red and it dread. What's that? Gun court. And all the squads, them have to run. Them have to run when radication come. And all the other squads, Operation Ardent and so on and so forth. So, yeah, there have been a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I'm saying it's still not working.
Yeah, so what does that say about us as a people and our capacity, or the capacity of those among us to in problem solving? Because that's one of the biggest concerns, that a significant number of our children have not mastered problem solving, and these children grow up to become adults and end up in different areas and just can't manage. I mean, I don't even want to start that now because we're going to be wrapping shortly. But it's the world is crying out, not least of all Jamaica. The world is crying out for problem solvers. Problem solvers.
Well, if I was hearing the Prime Minister was saying, was talking yesterday, and he was saying that, that there's just something that gone wrong among us because dog draw some garbage from one neighbor's house to the other, and that cost killing. It's as if there's, what's so wrong among us, what really so wrong that we can't find no little common ground to settle any kind of dispute, no matter how simple it is. It has to end up in the worst way. What could be really so wrong?
Yeah, it's actually more complicated than it appears to be. It runs deep, very deep, and understanding it it takes some doing. And understanding it is one thing. Being able to craft or to prepare an antidote for whether the source or the symptoms or the monster itself, in a manner of speaking, that's another thing. And so many have tried, as we have said. There are varying degrees of effort, as we all know, but they will all tell you they tried. They tried, from police commissioners to ministers of national security, to chiefs of staff, chief of defense, etc. Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is that I'm just, I'm looking for, the things to just make some drastic changes. They cannot continue this way. And I'm saying to our people also, we have to make the change.
Could it be that the drastic changes is the area where we're getting it wrong then? Because the general idea has been for the most part, fight fire with fire. Just deal with them, deal with the boy them, deal with the old criminal boy.
It doesn't have to be like that, but how other countries getting it right, that they can let people understand, and it doesn't have to be like to fight fire with fire.
Well, let's remember though, it's good to cite other countries, but bear in mind that the culture in other countries is different. Everything that happens in Jamaica is underpinned and undergirded by culture. The way culture simply means a way of life. Everything is undergirded by that. And so that in America, they say, if you see something, say something.
Say something.
That is very common in America. You see something, say something. In Jamaica, what do we say? Informer for dead. Hello.
Yes. And yes, those kind of mentality, has to go away, and then we got to get rid of those kind of
and it's also in our folk culture. You're chatty, and in our recordings, you chat too much. You're chatty. Even our good friend Tony Rebel has a song that speaks about through your chatty, me can't live in peace. Every little thing you run gone for police, etc. Good afternoon, Tony Rebel. We have to. It's a cultural,
and discipline. We need discipline, but in our society.
You find, in how many other cultures of the world can you find where the glorification of murder and death and destruction and everything else that comes with with gangsterism is we celebrate these people in Jamaica. These people are superstars in Jamaica, and it doesn't matter what they do or fail to do or what they're accused of. We hold them up. Nobody like them.
But the mentality is wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
But the next good news we have here, Mr. Dervan, we are looking at where the COVID is concerned. We are, it actually feels the same way like, before COVID came around here, we are on free movement. And the people are cooperating there, they're wearing their masks, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So things have been looking up very much here.
All right, thanks for that update. We're going to wrap now, though. We have to go. Thank you for the call.
Yes, no problem.
Take care. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 19th of March, 2021. The Moving Finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, if you care to, you can join us at 6 o'clock in the morning, but we won't hold it against you if you decide to sleep late tomorrow. That's fine. You're free so to do. We're just saying, if you just happen to be up between 6 and 9, we're on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. Till then, on behalf of Program Assistant Adrian Reed, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Have a great weekend.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.